The story of the Friends of the Phoenix Library begins in 1977 at a humble meeting around Harriet McIntosh's kitchen table. Two members of the Library Advisory Board saw a need for a citizens' partnership with their libraries, and Harriet, local writer and a library advocate, was just the person to start it.
I heard that whenever there were city budget meetings, she was down there. So she was, you couldn't have had a better advocate.
The early years were spent rallying against budget cuts, supporting bonds and reselling books to provide supplemental funding for the library. After 10 strong years, the Friends took on the largest project in their young history, a new central library. By 1988, the population of metropolitan Phoenix had boomed, and city officials brought to voters the aptly named $1 billion art bond in an effort to invest in the city's culture.
Well, loud and clear, they were saying they wanted more libraries. They wanted a central library that didn't have books piled in the corners, which unfortunately was what was happening in those days. So they went to work. The Friends were formed about that time, and they felt library services were so critical to a growing quality community that when the bond issue was set forward, when it was an opportunity to vote yes on expanding a library system and specifically getting a new central library, they really came through.
The bond passed, and construction began on architect Will Bruder's 5-story central library. But in 1994, the money ran out before the project was complete. The Friends sprang into action again, this time quickly raising more than $1 million to finish it. When it finally opened in 1995, Phoenix's Central Library was one of the nation's largest libraries at 280,000 square feet. The 5th floor reading room was, at that time, the largest in the nation. In 2010, the Friends were called to action yet again. Much like other major cities, Phoenicians faced a drastic budget proposal that would have closed 6 of their beloved neighborhood libraries. The Friends returned to the community with a message for City Council: don't close my library.
Well, I'll tell you how I received it. One afternoon, when a delivery of 4 giant boxes with over 20,000 individually written and signed postcards were delivered to me personally, and a low blow by the Friends of the Library when they had my mother's card on top. I think that was just a little over the top, but it was very effective. I did take the boxes around to the other council members and up to the city manager and the deputy city manager and said, you know, I told you guys we're going to have a problem.
They were heard. And to date, not a single Phoenix Public Library has permanently closed its doors. But advocacy isn't the only mission of the Friends. Historically, they have supported numerous library programs, services, and exhibits. In 1983, they helped to secure the coveted Alfred Knight collection to open the Art of the Book Room. Since then, the Friends have given more than $150,000 towards acquisitions for the collection. In 1986, the Friends hosted the first Dinner in the Stacks fundraiser in the auditorium at the old Central Library. 10 years later, the Friends created the Phoenix Public Library Foundation as a sustaining source of major funding. Perhaps most importantly, the Friends have always championed literacy for Phoenix's youth. For our city's youngest literacy learners, the Friends have funded innovative First 5 Years centers at each of the city's 17 libraries. Teens have their own agenda, and thanks to the Friends, they have their own safe, creative spaces to suit them. Each year, the Friends partner with the Arizona Republic and the Arizona Diamondbacks to provide the summer reading program to thousands of local children. More recently, the Friends have co-sponsored Storybook Express and Love to Read AZ, two highly attended events highlighting literacy resources. The Friends support programs and services like these because of their investment in the future of our city. Just ask Mayor Greg Stanton.
Cholla was almost like our second home. We were one of those families that brought in all 4 kids, and we walked out with piles of books every Saturday. The Friends of the Library serve many functions. First and foremost, they help us think through what our libraries can mean to our community. And of course, when it comes to dealing with the politicians in the city and reminding us on those occasions where we veer off in a different direction, getting us back on track, how important our public libraries are. Look, there are no better advocates in town. I would take Friends of the Library over any high-paid lobbyist any day of the week. Nobody does a better job than Friends of the Library, and they've got the track record to show it.
Young Hope understands the importance of reading. She uses her library regularly and participates in the summer reading program nearly every year.
I think that doing the reading programs and reading a lot here in the library does help me achieve in school. This award is an achievement for best scores on Ames. And on the reading Ames test, I only missed 7 questions on the whole reading Ames test. My favorite part of the library is the kids section, because it's got a lot of kid-appropriate books, and I can find a book that's just perfect for me.
The Friends of the Phoenix Public Library began with a handful of library advocates brainstorming around a kitchen table. 35 years later, they support 17 libraries in the 5th largest city in the nation. One thing remains the same. Friends work with the community to meet the literacy needs of this ever-changing city. Won't you join the cause?
Happy 35th anniversary to the Friends of the Library and to another great 35 years. Thank you.
To the Friends of the Library, you do so much for our city to make us a world's leading city. We appreciate you. Happy 35th anniversary.
A very happy 35th birthday to the Friends of the Library.